Hello. Hello, I'm Adam. Welcome back if you're joining me again. And just hello in general if this is your first time watching one of my video blogs. I've just got back from Tesco in Scarborough. It's 2:05 in the morning and I can't sleep. Despite the large bags under my eyes, which you can't really see that well on camera, but trust me, in real life they look awful. I just picked up some milkshake. I fancied a walk more than anything actually. Just wanted to get out, get some air. I hoped the fresh air might tire me out a bit, but it hasn't. Anyway, I'll apologise for my appearance. Bit of a scruff in my dressed downs, rugby shirt, etc. Just something comfy, as it's 2 in the morning, and I don't really care about my appearance now. Anyway, I also want to apologise because some of the contents of this video diary might seem a bit depressive, or like I am begging for attention, or something like that. Maybe you might even say a bit emo-ish, but it's really not intended that way. The sort of theme of this video blog is just about how depressingly lonely that I have become, not just recently, but over the last sort of 13 months or so now. It's been 13, 14 months since I've been single now, and I'm quite comfortable being single. It doesn't really bother me that much. But I haven't really filled that gap with anything productive or anything really fantastic. I do have friends. It's not like I'm a complete loner. You know, I live with 2 of my best friends in Scarborough, and they're great. I don't have that connection with them that, you know, I kind of want from best friends. I did have a best friend in Scarborough, Nico. He was from Greece, and we were like brothers. We were so close. We talked about anything and everything all of the time. Unfortunately, his university experience didn't quite work out for him, and he went back to Greece, and it's very unlikely that he will ever return to the UK now. So after Laura and I broke up, you know, I spent most of my time with him. And I was okay with that, because it was great, because he was my best friend, he was a brother. Now that he's not around, I do find that I don't really have people I can speak to face to face about just general rubbish, really. So yeah, you know, I've put off sort of finding a girlfriend, because the course that one's really demanding, and especially with placement, I just didn't have the time to invest in a girlfriend. Or at least that's the excuse I used. I also came up with this this ridiculous list of criteria of things that these women had to meet before I'd even consider, you know, like dating them. But again, for anyone that really knows me, that was just an excuse to avoid putting myself out there and, you know, actually actively looking for somebody new. Another thing that impedes me finding somebody new is the fact that if I'm attracted to a girl, I am absolutely terrible at talking to them. I either can't talk to them at all, or even if they talk to me first, I'll say stupid things in reply. For example, when I first met this girl, I was quite attracted to her, and I ended up calling her an ugly dyke. I don't really like that word. I don't know why I used it, to be honest. I think I was trying to be funny. It didn't really quite work out. And also, I told her she was, oh no, I mentioned it. I called her ugly, and I called her an I told her that I was a paedophile, which is a joke that I've used quite a few times. Whenever people have asked me about why I've wanted to be a teacher, etc., I would usually come back with a quip about wanting access to fresh meat and the likes, and jokes like that just don't go down very well. I don't know why. Quite clearly not true. And if I was a paedophile, I would hardly go around admitting it to complete strangers or to people that I barely knew, would I? It just doesn't make sense. So I don't see why people always take that so seriously. Anyway, there was a girl last summer, Jessica, who I thought I was kind of falling. But I think she was sort of that rebound girl. We got on really well. She was really attractive. She was actually attracted to me, and we spent a lot of time talking. The biggest problem with that was that she lived in Leicester, which is far enough from my hometown of Gainsborough anyway. Excuse me, but it's even further from Scarborough. And the distance is partly what sort of messed Laura and I's relationship up. Was the distance. It just made things too difficult, and I couldn't do that again. I don't really want to get involved long distance again. Not if I can help it. So things, and I don't think Jessica was really right for me. Great girl. But, friends. We're friends. We're still friendly. Obviously, we don't get a chance to hang out. I'd like to get a chance to hang out with her again. But we'll see. There hasn't really been anyone else that I felt that way about since Laura. But I think a lot of that's down to the fact that I haven't really been looking. And any time that I have found myself attracted to somebody, I've always done my best to avoid actually even talking to them. There was a girl for ages, from Freshers Week onwards this year, well, this academic year, that I was attracted to, and the friends that I live with spoke to her, sort of mentioned that to her, and I wasn't happy about that, but it turns out that she kind of liked me too, and she wanted me to speak to her. But the thing is, even though I knew she wanted me to speak to her, I still couldn't do it. I've since got over that crush, but I sometimes think, what if I'd actually taken the time to speak to them? Because I'm great talking to girls normally. Like the vast majority of my friends are female, especially in Scarborough. I seem to get on better with girls for some reason, but not if I fancy them. So it's a real pain in the backside. So yeah, and with Nico leaving as well, and then when I was on placement last time, I lived in the house on my own for 6 weeks. And during that 6 weeks, I actually went 2.5 weeks solid without speaking to anybody outside of school face to face, apart from shop assistants and bus drivers, which is actually really, really depressing. I think I brought a lot of that on myself. Also, the fact that not many people during those 2.5 weeks were really up for doing anything, not even hanging out, because we were all so busy with school and planning and marking and everything else that we never really found the time to do anything. And 6 weeks of living in a house on your own is definitely depressing. Coming home every day to nobody, spending all night on your own. Even when I was seeing people on placement, I was only seeing them for one night a week at the weekend. I suppose I could have made more of an effort, but just didn't have the time. We'd work, we'd be at school from 8 in the morning till at least 4, and by the time you get home, have your dinner and everything else, so you've got marking to do and planning to do. It was a lifestyle. It wasn't a placement. It's not a job. It's a lifestyle. Placement's finished now, so I kind of feel like I want to get my social life back on track. I want to start meeting new people, start making real friends, start maybe even meeting somebody new that I can share something with. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'd like to meet somebody new. I know I've always said that I had a list of criteria for women, but that's just an excuse I can to sort of for why I wasn't getting myself out there, because no woman was ever going to meet all of these criteria. That's the thing. If there is a woman out here that meets all these criteria, then yeah, definitely. I'd sell my left testicle for an opportunity to do that. I know that's not real. Anyway, we've sort of reached the 10-minute mark now. I know YouTube gets late, apparently, for a 10-minute video, so I'll call this a day. Sorry this was a bit self-loathing, a bit depressive, but I hope it gives you a bit of an insight, a bit more of an insight into who I am and how I feel, which I suppose this is what the video blog's all about anyway. So I'll speak to you next time. Thank you for watching.